The frustrating part is just feeling more anxious about our kids.
Residents in San Diego communities are worried about an increase in people parked in city streets, living in their cars, causing problems in their neighborhoods. Now, the mayor wants to come up with strict regulations, but right now, sleeping in a car is legal. There's a rally right now in Ocean Beach opposing those regulations, where some claim this is their only option to stay off the street. Our Travis Rice has their side of the story. Travis.
Exactly, Steve. In many cases, the people behind me say their car is the only thing keeping them from being homeless, but the problem is where they're parking them.
Who wouldn't want to enjoy the beautiful views and the beautiful neighborhood?
These neighbors don't blame anyone, but they've had enough.
It's broken glass, bottles of pee, drug paraphernalia, and an excrement. I mean, it's just people being really thoughtless and gross.
This father doesn't want to show his face out of fear of retaliation, but he wants to get his neighborhood's point across.
Imagine people just setting up tents on the sidewalk. You can't have neighborhoods be campgrounds. It doesn't make sense.
He says people living in their cars on their streets have he and other neighbors afraid to let their kids out.
We feel like we need to keep them closer, and often, if there's something going on, we just don't even let them leave our property.
Earlier this year, City Council repealed its vehicle habitation ordinance after a federal judge found it unconstitutional, which halted all enforcement.
We used to be, if somebody was being too rowdy, we could call the police and say, hey, we've got something you ought to roll by and see if there's an issue. But now they just tell us that there's nothing that they can do.
Then in March, the mayor announced an effort to bring a ban back. The ordinance would prohibit residents from sleeping in their cars from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. within 500 feet of a school or house.
We've hamstrung law enforcement to be able to move people along that are abusing the privilege. So there's got to be some sort of common sense legislation that allows the police to do their job.
People like this father are hopeful their situation won't be overlooked.
I think that we have a right to feel like our children should be safe in this neighborhood. And that's really been, it's really been threatened by the situation that we're dealing with and that continues to increase.
That ordinance made it through committee but has yet to be fully approved by council. You may remember when the mayor announced that new effort to bring back the ban, it was just a few weeks after that ban had been halted. Now, the city says they've received hundreds of complaints since February when that ban went into effect and when it was repealed. The city says they're also expanding their safe parking sites, which would allow people who are homeless to park their cars in them overnight in a safe space. Live in Ocean Beach, Travis Rice, 10 News.